A second suspect has been arrested in the shooting that left 6 people dead.
A month-long review is underway of This American Agency. Find out more later in the show.
And this fan favorite sport is back in action on UNT's campus. Stay tuned.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Madison Myers.
And I'm Sydney Deshawn.
Police in Sacramento, California have arrested a second man in connection to the mass shooting this past weekend. The 27-year-old was found at the scene with serious injuries from gunfire. The suspect was quickly identified as Smiley Martin and remained under police supervision at the hospital. Martin is the brother of Dondre Martin, whom police arrested just yesterday. Martin is being charged with assault and illegal firearm possession. According to the Sacramento County District Attorney, Martin has not been charged with a homicide as the investigation is still ongoing. He is scheduled to appear in court later today.
The sentencing phase for confessed Parkland gunman Nikolas Cruz began Monday. Last year, Cruz pleaded guilty to killing 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida in 2018. CNN's Christina Vasquez has more.
I don't know if relief is the right word, but relieved to be at the beginning of the end of this part.
For more than 4 years, family members of the 17 MSD students and staff murdered in one of the nation's deadliest school shootings have waited for this day.
This case stems from a school shooting that occurred on February 14th, 2018.
The start of the process to find 12 jurors who will decide if the man who confessed and pled guilty in October to murdering their children should get life or death. The judge telling prospective jurors during this first phase of selection that knowing about the case,
you will not be excused merely for that reason alone.
The qualification is I may know about it, but can I set it aside?
with guilt already established, jurors will be asked to be fair and impartial when it comes to sentencing.
Finding jurors who are willing to say that in and of itself is going to be a problem in this case, besides just the overwhelming number of days.
With the penalty phase expected to last 4 to 6 months, the first round of jury selection started with the judge asking prospective jurors if they think they can sit on a trial that long, and if not, why.
I have a special needs young child, and I'm going through a divorce, so I'm about to be a single mother.
Excusable hardships, she told them, included being a full-time caregiver or financial considerations.
Or cause you to lose wages to the extent that it would be a hardship.
4 people were rescued after their cars were swept away in flash flooding in Texas Monday night. The incident occurred in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburb of McKinney, which is located about 32 miles north of Dallas. The McKinney Fire Department said everyone was okay. According to the National Weather Service, between 2 and 5 inches of rain have fallen across part of the county. You know, last night's weather was super crazy, and I heard that there was a ton of flooding in the area. Gabby, what can you tell us about last night's storm and what we can expect for the rest of this week?
For sure, Maddie, you're absolutely right. There was a lot of flooding in different areas of Texas, specifically Dallas and McKinney. Those pictures that we just showed you earlier are actually from water rescues that officials had to conduct last night because of those cars being swept away from water. But back in UNT Grounds is doing their part to help clean up after the storm last night. Rocks and debris have been blown into walkways around campus, and groundsmen Kevin, Clayton, and Dalton are doing their work to make it safer for students. I spoke with them around 10:30 this morning while they were outside, and they said that they want to make the space easy and non-hazardous for students. Outside of campus, Denton County wasn't super affected by the storm last night. We did have wind speeds reach up to 60 miles per hour and a little bit of hail in the southwestern parts of the county. But luckily for us, we do not have any tornadoes that happened last night. However, Johnson and Alvarado cities and counties weren't as lucky. They did have a confirmed tornado touchdown last night, causing building damage. As of right now, no deaths are reported. Now, outside of the storm damage from last week, we talked about fire safety for people in the state. Central and East Texas are specifically the areas we're worried about that have those fire risks for them. As of today, the conditions are a perfect storm for those risks, so please be aware of any known burn mandates for those areas. Now let's get into this first look weather. As of right now, we are sitting at a nice degree of 76. It feels the same with those wind speeds at 13 miles per hour. So honestly, for me, perfect weather. Now going into tonight, we're going to actually have an increase in temperatures. It's going to reach 90 degrees with those wind speeds staying at the exact same rate. Now looking into tomorrow, we are going to cool down. As of tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we're going to have temperatures around 57 degrees, and it's going to feel a little cooler because of those wind speeds. I'll get more into the cooler temperatures and warmer temperatures coming into Texas in the coming week, but that's all for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. Hundreds of volunteers were in Waikiki to help introduce an innovative technology into the canal in the form of Genki balls, which means healthy and vital in Japanese. The Alloway project hosted 2 events, one this past Saturday and the other on March 12th, allowing community members to throw the balls into the canal. CNN's Casey Lund shows us more.
Our goal is to make the Alloway swimmable, fishable in 7 years.
These small Genki balls that volunteers are throwing into the Alloway Canal could have a giant impact.
Basically, they're made of EM, microorganism, effective microbes, so they're all beneficial microbes. And a teaspoon of a healthy soil has 100 million to billion bacteria, according to USDA. So one ball has 3.3 billion to 33 billion beneficial bacteria.
And when doing something this good for the environment feels this fun, the effort may have the organization and people to make a difference.
We had over 200 people on the March 12th event to create the Genki balls, as well as this event.
It's a great, innovative way to help clean up the Alloway, which we know is an eyesore.
Genki means healthy or vital in Japanese.
Vitality, that's the focus here, and reclaiming this canal for future generations.
I think it's great. It's education. Everybody thinks the Alloway is what it is. It's just a collection where it has a high fecal bacteria, pollution. Even though a lot of it's used for recreational use, like paddlers and whatnot, but it can be a jewel in Waikiki.
Thanks for coming out, and hope next year more people will join us.
Casey Lund, Hawaii News Now.
Those interested in supporting their work can donate $5 to have a Genki ball made.
Coming up, what is the future of COVID-19 boosters? Will we need to get another, or will it be a yearly vaccine?
And after the break, UNT has a few Grammy winners on their staff. Stay with us to find out who.
Near Sancta Spiritus.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Hey, Maddie, miss me?
Wait, Bud?
What was that all about?
An old friend.
An old friend?
Good to see you, brother.
What the hell are you doing?
That's your lucky day.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
COVID-19 booster shots are in the works as the FDA is scheduled to talk about Wednesday. Last week, the FDA expanded the emergency use authorization of 2 vaccines so people 50 years and older can get a second booster shot as early as 4 months after their first one. But what about people younger than 50? Should these groups get a second booster? And if so, then when is the right time? There have been questions about whether the COVID-19 variant will become an annual shot as well. All these questions will be answered at the Wednesday meeting. The meeting will include an update from experts on coronavirus variants they're predicting vaccine effectiveness, and new data from Israel on a fourth dose in older adults. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is under review. A month-long review of the company is set to begin next week. The director says it could result in reshaping. CNN's Amy Kiley has the story.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is used to scrutinizing science. Now the agency itself is under the microscope. Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the Department of Health will conduct a sweeping review starting next Monday. In a memo to staff, Walensky says it's to improve how the agency communicates with the public and consider a restructuring. That news comes the same day as a bipartisan deal Senator Mitt Romney helped negotiate for his chamber. It's for $10 billion of COVID relief money. The measure would fund therapeutics like oral antiviral pills, and it would support vaccines, testing, and research. What it would not do is send money directly to the CDC. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants to vote on the measure this week.
On COVID, very briefly, over the last few days, my Democratic colleagues and I continued talks with Senator Romney and Republicans, working all hours of the night and into the weekend.
This is clearly a huge focus for the president because of the dire need we have at this moment to get this funding through.
The White House says it would like more money in the plan.
Even as we're very encouraged by the progress, we're going to need more because our objective here is to make sure we can have funding for antivirals, the vaccines needed for people for many months to come.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The CDC says that it is working to find new ways to adapt the agency's structure to the changing environment.
Last night we had tornadoes, our wind speeds were up, and it was very humid outside. I just never know what to expect anymore with this Texas weather. I know our weather anchor, Gabby Carden, can give us more details on what to expect for the rest of the week. Gabby?
Sydney, I couldn't agree more. Texas weather just can't seem to make up its mind. However, let's get into temperatures across North Texas. We are on a kind of warming trend. Denton is sitting at 76, Dallas is sitting at 77, and up in Sherman we're sitting at 72. So all in those 70 ranges right now. Now as we go farther into our state map, we're going to look at those cities that I talked about earlier. Those eastern and central cities, specifically Abilene and El Paso, are having those red flag warnings right now. That goes back into those conditions I spoke about relating to fire risk. So again, those cities are there right now. However, their temperatures should cool down tomorrow and eliminate those risks. As far as the rest of Texas state, we are going to go actually into our 7-day forecast. Right now, our high for today is going to be 92 degrees, a lot hotter than we've had the past few weeks, so definitely prepare for that. But like I said, those temperatures are going to drop. On Wednesday, our high is going to be 72 degrees and the low will be 45. And we'll stay in the 70s to high 60s until Saturday. Saturday, we're going to go back up to 81 degrees for our high, and Sunday will be 85. Monday again will be 82 degrees. So as you can see on our forecast, we're going to have a high, a low, and back up to high temperatures as we go into those summer months. That's all I have for my full weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Yesterday was the 54th anniversary of the assassination of civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. King was killed at the Lorraine Motel in front of room 306 on April 4th, 1968. The motel is now preserved and is part of the National Civil Rights Museum. The museum held a celebration of King's life and legacy on Monday. The event was live streamed and included special performances, tributes, and a keynote speaker. The most important moment of the event was the changing of the balcony wreath and a moment of silence held at the exact time King was killed.
One local author is helping young women change their lives for the better. ntTV's reporter Kayla Holt had the opportunity to see how this young lady is turning her trauma into triumph. Take a look.
1 in 3 women have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner, and 1 in 5 women have been sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Meet Robin Henry, founder of the movement Trauma to Triumph, where she uses social media as a tool to help those who are trying to heal from their past.
A lot of people think trauma to triumph is just sexual trauma, or they think that it's just, you know, your parents were divorced, but what about those who have STDs? What about those who have sicknesses and diseases? This is their trauma. This is the thing that keeps them up at night.
After overcoming an abusive relationship and being sexually assaulted, Robin Henry found strength through journaling, which led to writing her own book entitled The Caged Bird Finally Sings. Now an author and motivational speaker, Robin is passionate about helping women find the strength to rise above their traumatic life experiences.
When it comes to trauma, trauma is definitely, it's a soul issue. It clogs up the pipeline to the soul, so your mind, your will, and your emotions. And so what I want to do is to help women cleanse that. Like, let's go ahead and clean that up, because once you get your mind right, your thoughts get in order, your actions get in order. And when your actions are in order, your life is in order.
What started as therapy for herself grew into a safe haven for those in need of words of wisdom and by someone who knows all too well how they may feel.
I'm so glad that I got the chance to watch the Grammys last night. It was so good, and I was super excited to see some UNT winners and nominees.
I know I was proud, and I'm sure all of our alumni were thrilled as well. Our anchor, Kyle Orr, has more details on this great achievement. Kyle?
Thanks, ladies. The 64th Grammy Awards this past Sunday recognized some of today's best musical talents. Some of the recognized talent just happened to be UNT alumni. In fact, 19 alumni and faculty were nominated for awards in 12 different categories. Late composer and UNT alumnus Lyle Mays won a posthumous award for his work on Eberhard. UNT alumni Gary Eckert and faculty member Rosanna Eckert also collaborated on the award-winning composition. UNT alumnus and bass player Daniel Foose collaborated with performers Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett on the album Love for Sale, which took home Grammy for Best Engineered Album, Non-Classical. The album also won for Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. It was definitely a successful night for the winners and nominees in Eagle Pride. It's no doubt we can see many more UNT alumni recognized for their great musical talents in future years. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Kyle. After the break, we have a waffle lot of details about a tastefully cool shoe.
And how this UNT fan favorite game is back in action. Stay tuned.
7. Hey, didn't see you there. Just finished my 100th rep. You ready to train?
Yeah!
You got your weights?
Yeah!
You got your energy drink?
Of course!
You got time to go to the Pole Recreation Center?
Yeah, what?
Listen, I didn't even graduate high school. I can't teach for the life of me.
Instead, UNT is offering workout classes at a moderate pace, including yoga, cycling, Pilates, and more.
Don't rely on your dad's old workout videos. Check out the UNT Rec Center today.
Hi, I'm Kennedy, the president of Black Film Club, and what I love about BFC is the atmosphere and the members. The family feel that we have in our club is really genuine. What about you, Bree?
My name is Bree. I'm the vice president of Black Film Club, and what I love about Black Film Club is there is a small but close, like, little family. You know, I feel like a lot of times when you go to a PWI, it's hard to find like a Black community that share the same interests in you. So I'm very blessed and grateful to have, you know, found my family.
What I would say I like about Black Film Club is obviously the environment that it sets for everybody. I love the officers. I've been rocking with basically all of them since day one, since freshman year. We all came in here at the same time, all got involved with Black Film Club at the same time. So it's been a nice community to grow with, and then seeing new members come, seeing them get interested, seeing how they like Black film, teaching them what we can teach them before we leave, and giving them the mantle to take over. It's a blessing.
It's the end of an era. The master of the world's largest trivia game is hanging up his pen. Each year, radio station 90 FM in Stevens Point, Wisconsin hosts the 54-hour game. Registration for this year's game is now open. CNN's Hannah Borkert has more.
For 34 years, Jim Oliva has been the man behind the questions of the world's largest trivia contest, but many people know him as the Oz. After a 2-year break because of COVID, fans were to get in line early to register. One fan told me she got there at 9 in the morning.
Every year, Patty and I like to wait in line together and just talk about trivia. It's one of my favorite traditions of trivia, is just hanging out in line, talking with people, seeing friends.
She met Patty Johnson through trivia. Patty's been playing every year since she was born. She says her team is competitive. They won 4 times.
It's like Christmas where, you all come back, but sometimes people can't make Christmas, but they can make trivia because we all want to get together, and that's the only time you see some people is during trivia weekend.
But the man responsible for bringing friends and family together all these years is ready to write a new chapter.
This is a hard year because it's my final year, and people are doing little things here and there which are tearing me up inside.
He's thankful for all the kindness and support from the community, and while it's been a lot of work, he says it's all about having fun.
My girlfriend will say, "I can't believe it takes you that many hours to write just 3 hours of questions." I said, "Yeah, but you have to remember the downtime when we're laughing so hard, we're worried about wetting our pants. It's just, you're laughing too hard."
Oz has also been a huge impact on students working at 90 FM.
It's kind of like blowing my mind to work with someone who knows all of the ropes that come with this industry.
He'll spend his last year bustling around for the 54 hours of consecutive trivia with students before he passes his trivia pen to the next writer.
I want to say for everybody out there, let's play trivia, Fast Eddie.
Waffle House has a new addition to the menu, golf shoes. While being known for their tasty hash browns, now the breakfast chain has shoes. Waffle House is a Georgia favorite, and thanks to a special partnership with Adidas, the restaurant is celebrating another Georgia favorite, the 86 Masters Golf Tournament. The tournament will kick off in Augusta this Thursday, and that is also when the shoes go on sale. The off-white color on the shoes is similar to the waffle batter. There's even 3 dark brown stripes on the side as a nod to the legendary waffles being cooked just right and the Waffle House logo on the back.
The intramural sport we all know and love is back. Flag football has made its return to UNT's campus. ntTV's Jalen Jackson has the story.
Third down, 20 yards line to gain. Sam, look at your left.
It has been 5 semesters since UNT Rec Sports offered intramural flag football. Now that COVID restrictions are being lifted, students are given the opportunity to throw some balls,
Go get it, Jameson.
catch some balls, and score some touchdowns.
Back whenever it was COVID season, we couldn't do anything, we couldn't socialize, couldn't do anything, couldn't get out of the dorm, and now we're back to out playing sports, we're back to making friends, back to throwing passes, making touchdowns, and I love it.
Feels great, man. We're able to be out here with our masks on, be able to play with the boys, man, be able to get some of my boys out here to play ball with, so it's a lot of fun,
While there are still risks of contracting COVID-19, many intramural players are just happy to return to playing flag football without masks.
I mean, you just follow the protocols put in place by the school, and that's really all you can do, control what you can control.
Just keep following the protocol and stuff like that. I'm glad we don't have to wear masks no more. Everybody get to see my face, so I'm glad about that.
With flag football back, it gives students from different organizations and teams an opportunity to play their hearts out from the first snap of the first quarter to the final buzzer. Jalen Jackson, ntTV.
Wow, Sydney, that looks like so much fun. It's making me really want to consider joining a team.
Me too, Maddie. I know volleyball is more my thing, but it does sound super fun though.
I love intramurals. It really just highlights why I talk about sports and not play them. Thank you, ladies. I'll touch on the national championship basketball game, recap Mean Green softball, and talk some Dallas Mavs right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
Women's National Championship. The Women's National Championship ended up being a one-sided affair, with Carolina beating the Huskies 64-49 for UConn. It was unfamiliar territory as the dominant program took its first loss in a national championship game. On the men's side of things, it was looking to be the same kind of lopsided affair last night, as North Carolina took a surprising 45-25 lead going into halftime. But it would be a tale of two halves, as North Carolina completely folded as Kansas came back to win the game 72-69. It was a disappointing end for North Carolina, a team that just a couple days prior made history, beating their rival Duke in their first ever tournament matchup. For Kansas, they will go down in history with the best comeback win in NCAA championship history. Your Mean Green women's softball team continues on a roll, sweeping the UTEP Miners over the weekend to improve to 21-7 on the year. UNT completely dominated the weekend, outscoring their opponent 22-6. The win marks the Mean Green's fourth consecutive League Series win as they continue to dominate. Molly Rainey led the way, earning her first ever Player of the Week honor, batting .750 and recording 2 home runs and 5 RBI as the ladies swept UTEP. UNT travels to San Antonio this weekend to take on UTSA. As the NBA regular season rapidly nears its end, all eyes in the Metroplex are on the Dallas Mavericks, who are easily having their best season since having superstar Luka Doncic at the helm. Over the weekend, we had a preview of both kinds of Mavericks teams. One that got blown out by a lottery team in the Wizards on Friday when the Mavericks looked helpless to stop the KP revenge game. But in true Mavericks form, we saw a seemingly completely different team go out and beat the defending champion Bucks on the road. In a back-and-forth game, our Slovenian superstar put on a show, scoring 32 points for his 5th consecutive game and putting on a passing clinic, recording 15 assists. But even more important is the fact that the Mavericks continue to play great team defense. And for Luka to finally lead the team out of the first round, he will need just that to be able to do it. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Brandon. Today is an exciting day for all you pizza lovers out there. It's National Deep Dish Pizza Day. To celebrate this special day, you can get a slice from your local pizza shop, bake a frozen one, or make your own at home. Fun fact, deep dish pizza was invented in Chicago in 1943 by the founder of Uno's Pizzeria. Uno's eventually grew into a big national chain, sparking the light for other deep dish pizzerias around the world.
Wow, Sydney, that's actually making me so hungry. I'm probably going to go get a slice of pizza after this. I don't know about you guys.
No, I for sure am. After this, I'm going to go to Crooked Crust. That's my favorite place to go. It's so good.
Maybe do some pineapple on the pizza. Absolutely. Yeah? You're with me?
I don't think that would be good.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight, 6 here on North Texas Television.